Hey guys, this is Gino with Sound of the Times, and I just want to show you this little DIY project I just completed. I've got a wedding ceremony coming up where they just wanted some soft lighting on the altar, and they didn't want any specific color, so you know how difficult it is to do with LEDs. So this is a standard par can that I modified. If you haven't noticed, there's a knob on top. That is a dimmer switch. I didn't feel like having little boxes with, I'll tell you what, let me just plug this guy in, turn it on, and I'll show you here. Helps to turn it on. It's got its own internal dimmer now. So, I've always been amazed that nobody's actually sold anything like this. But for a few bucks, I'll show you how to do it. Okay guys, for this job, for this little project, we're going to need a drill with some various drill bits. You're going to need some stove bolts. You're going to need one dimmer, and because it comes with white or beige knobs, we want to keep everything as discreet as possible. I'm going to have to get another knob. This one's black. Obviously there's going to be some soldering involved. Instead of a soldering iron, I use one of these. It's a pencil torch. Runs on butane. Quick, easy, and cools off quick. And of course a lighter in order to light that thing. So, oh, and of course you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. So that's all our supplies that we're going to need for this, with the addition of some electrical tape. So we'll be starting in just a minute. Guys, so we are ready to begin our Frankensteining of this particular fixture. Obviously, first thing we need to do is pull out the guts. So, and of course this is not the easiest thing to do one-handed. And I can't seem to locate my tripod right now. Alright, so there's the bulb. And if you look inside, now you really can't see. There we go. If you look, if I can get the lighting just right, there you go. There are two screws on that bracket that holds the socket in place. We need to remove those. Those are just a nut and a screw, so the screws are on the other side. We need to pull those out, pull that whole piece out, and basically pull the electrical cord out from the inside. Okay, so we've got the guts out. It was just those two screws that were on the back, one there and one there, and we pulled out a length of the cord. Now, the next couple steps, I need to get the dimmer pack and mark here where the holes are going to be. Actually, let me zoom out there. I need to mark on the can, on the back of the can. We want to put this as far towards the back as possible. The idea is to get the dimmer pack installed with this installed back there, and still be able to put this guy back in its original place without having to modify this thing any further. So we're going to mark it up, and then we're going to start cutting some wires. So the next step after that is to cut this black wire. Well, we'll get that in a second. Okay guys, so we've got the holes drilled. I've already checked and make sure that they line up nicely, and they do. Our next step here is to wire things up. We've got 3 wires over here. Green is ground, Now if you look on here, we've got a green, we've got a white, and a black all go into the socket. The white we don't have to worry about. It's really only the black. So we need to cut this black wire and splice these two black wires onto the cut wire. So it's basically like an input and an output, and the dial will control what passes through to it. So that's basically how this is going to work. It really is that simple. The ground will go to the ground post, and then we'll install everything back inside. Okay guys, so here's what we got. We've got it all wired up. We've got our ground to the post. We've got our two black wires spliced in, if you look. It's not a pretty tape job, but it doesn't have to be. Nobody's going to see it. As long as you're covering your solder points, you're set. So now it's just a matter of reinstalling it back into the housing. So here we go. Okay guys, we've got the switch installed. We've got everything installed back inside. Of course the angle of the light's not going to show it, but the guts are in there. Everything's wired up. We're ready. Almost. Wait, I almost forgot. There's one last special touch. One last special touch. Let me see if I can find the right size adapter. There we go. No, that's not the button. It's the adapter for the knob. Okay, we are ready to test. Man, it doesn't look bad at all. If it wasn't for the line I drew on there, you'd swear that was professional. Sorry for my jumpy camera. I'm just kind of trying to work and do this at the same time. Next step, throw a bulb in. Alright, so we've got power. And it is got some decent control of it too. No, that's not an illusion. It actually is dimming. It's not the camera doing its adjustment, so. Alright, can number 2 is a success. So guys, that's it. And that's how you do it. In the words of Mikey Mike, well, I don't want to steal his catchphrase. Anyway, practice and enjoy, guys.